Hey guys, welcome back to the Dimension Magic Games YouTube channel. I'm Bobby, and today I am joined by a special guest, Jay. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Jay is here to tell us about what he did this weekend. You want to share with the people?
Yeah, we went to Gencon and took fifth place with Gamma. It was a good experience, a lot of fun, some interesting matchups that I'm sure we'll go over. But yeah, fifth place at Gencon, we'll take it.
Okay, so we've had a lot of, oh, well, first, congratulations, obviously, but we've had a lot of Gamma content on the channel, so I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about why you picked Gamma for Gen Con and if you think it was a good choice into the metagame that you saw there.
Oh, it's easily the best deck in the format. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's tier one for sure. I liked it because of the intricacies that it has and a lot of the unique and different play lines and just the play styles, being able to extend plays, play offensively, defensively. It just gives it a lot of different avenues to win a game. And I thought it was easily the best deck in the format. And I still hold true that that's easily the best deck. U7 performed really well, but I think Gamma has a really good matchup into it. Unfortunately, I didn't see it U7 all day, but I'm pretty confident in that matchup.
Well, that's pretty crazy considering what four of the top eight were U7 that you avoided those guys. That's interesting.
Yeah, dodged all of them, which I mean, it wouldn't have been the worst. If I think if I got to the finals, I probably have a pretty good matchup into it. You got to swing at least 25, 30 each swing and really push them to use cards in their hands. So I think it's a pretty favorable matchup for Gamma. I don't think it's by any means win unwinnable for U7, but it's I mean Gamma has to kind of low roll.
Yeah, that makes sense. Blue typically, I mean, way back when U7 was at its prime, people were playing Android 21 too, even though Android 21 was super strong at that point too. But that was kind of the blue was the counter pick for that. So we'll go over your matchups towards the end. I think right now, if you just want to go through the main deck and then kind of talk about the choices you made,
Yeah,
I assume it's pretty similar to the decks profiled on the channel previously, but it's always good to get another perspective.
yeah. I mean, it's four of the eight or the 19, and then four of the 20. You've got the draw one and the top five searcher. You've got Android 17, which is your draw engine. Android 13, which is probably the most important card of the deck. You use these pretty well in unison. You play the 17, and then you go ahead and pop the 13 to play the 13. It draws your card and ramps, so it's really good value. And then the 16 as well, which is, I mean, these three are like the staples of the deck. I think that if you open all three of them, it's really hard for you to lose a game just because it can put out so much pressure. And then we've got the Gammas one and two. It's an activate battle speed. You can play it for one, and it makes your opponent discard a card, a dual attack blocker. You can pop an energy and give 5K to one of your cards, so you can bean your leader, which really actually is probably the most useful part of Gamma is the ability to make your leader a base 25K. A lot of decks can't deal with that. You could even go higher, 30K if you want, but with Gamma and a single bean, you're sitting at 25K, and you're avoiding any real damage in most matchups. Um, then there's Cell. This is going to be pretty common as far as you just need to open it for a blue green energy. You could also open that, but this one is ideal. You can also combo it from the energy with for 10K and an activate battle speed limit one, which obviously when you're playing the game, the higher the number, you're going to be able to push damage, especially early. So Cell was actually really good defensively. I probably used it more defensively than offensively. But seeing it enables your turn two or turn two awaken, turn one play with the Z extra card.
Did you ever play it
Um,
for real?
no, not once. Nope. I comboed it a bunch of times and never once did it hit the board. And actually, that's pretty true about um, more than one card in this deck. Is like it's nice to have the option, but it really wasn't something that I was avid about playing if I didn't have to. So Cell was mainly just energy, and then the 10K activate battle. Um, and then the deck also plays the Sun Gohan Power Unshackled Floodgate. It's a two energy. It forces your opponent to have to get rid of a two cost or less for each swing, each battle card swing. Um, it's easily counterplayed, so you do have to time it correctly. And I think when I was struggling early with the deck was when I was playing this at a time where they still had the opportunity to clear it. So you really want to ideally play it on the last swing of their turn if you can time that accordingly. Otherwise, you can play it offensively if you know that they don't have any counterplays. If they're tapped out, especially early, it's probably the best floodgate in the game besides maybe Nimbus or Bardock the Tenacious. Um, there were a lot of times where I would play it, and at times I would also turn it sideways and then make them deal with it. Sometimes it's bait, and it just forces them to have to deal with it. Other times it's obviously going to stick for a floodgate. So in some matchups it was really useful, in other ones it wasn't so necessary. And then we go into the Cell Maxes, or Cell Max, which is the 8-drop. It's double strike barrier blocker, but it does become dual attack when you get rid of energy. At the end of the turn, you switch one of your energy back to active mode. It's just a very good early beater that you can play. Just kind of push some damage, clear unisons. I didn't play it a whole lot, but it was fine when I did play it. I never felt terrible about it. And then the Cell 9-drop, which is a 4 energy play from your energy, which I did use quite a bit in certain matchups, specifically if I needed to clear like a wider board that I just couldn't manage. It's a very easy way to answer the board. You'll clear it, it's double strike, dual attack, deflect. And if they counterattack, they have to bottom deck a card. So pretty decent value overall. Then we move into the Android 17, the Hellfighters. You play it for 1, it draws you a card. You swing with it, and you can combo it off. I actually didn't use it as much as I thought I would. A lot of times I just wasn't seeing it, which wasn't the end of the world, but it's just a very good value play in general. It's just not something that came up a whole ton.
It'd be cool if it was red.
And then, yeah, exactly. Like if you can ramp and then play it off leader, which your leader, when you do end up ramping off your leader, you can place 2 energy or 2 red ribbon into the energy. You are stuck playing red ribbons for the turn, so you can't play Broly, you can't play 17 or Cell. But you can play pretty much everything else in the deck, which is again pretty valuable.
Red ribbon.
Oh yeah, he is a red ribbon. I don't think it ever came up. Imagine me nerfing myself though. But yeah, like the 17 and the Broly, there were times where I wanted to play them, and I just kind of had to lock myself out of it, which not the end of the world. These are your main engine, the 17, the 16, and the 13. Like that's just an unbeatable engine there. So Broly, I don't think I played it more than once. I never really felt the need to. Like it's fine, 2 energy play, 35k, double strike, dual attack, maybe more or less. So it does have some removal. It was some spot removal, but I didn't see it as much as I wanted to. And even when I did, it just didn't feel like it was an opportune time to play it. So it was underwhelming. I would still keep it in the deck just because of that spot removal, but it didn't make a huge impact in the deck, honestly. Okay, so this is where I differed a little bit with Danny and Maul, where I went with a 2-2 split on the super combos. I went 2 Android 8 and then 2 Zeno. In retrospect, I would probably go 3 Zeno and 1 Android 8. I thought at the time that I needed more draw power because I wanted to dig a little bit deeper to make sure that I saw my 17s, saw my SCR, and some of the other key pieces. I didn't hate it. It wasn't the end of the world. Plus, the Zeno also being able to play it on 5 life instead of 4 was really useful as well.
Sometimes,
but that was probably the main difference.
That extra red ribbon ramp too.
Yeah, like it's definitely a play, and then you can add it back off the 17. Like there was just a lot of utility for it. I went 4D Magic and 3 Bean. It's just wrong. You should play 3D Magic and 4 Bean. Like I said, being able to take your leader and make him a base 25k is just so good. And you kind of want to be in battle quite a bit. So I think it was a spot decision. I would change it and go 4 Bean, though. There was never a time I'm really missing a D Magic in this deck. 1 UI Goku. Just 15k. Draw card. Like it's fine. It really didn't come up a ton either. But when I had it and needed it, it was a decent play. Just kind of way to save an energy or save 17 or 16 if they're swinging into it, or even 13. It's just a 1 mana play that obviously just restands an energy, so it felt fine. And then we go to Android 21 Bad Omen. multiple games where I was able to place this in energy towards the end of the game, and they had to respect that they could not go down to one life. And it actually won me a game. It would have won me another game. I just didn't end up getting to see, and I didn't need to. I didn't see an avenue for being able to place it in my energy. It was on the defensive, and I didn't have a Zeno, so she stayed in my hand, but it was there if I ever needed it. And then the SCR's Hatch, just being able to be aggressive, turn cards sideways, and then have the safety blanket that is Hatch really allows you to play the deck in an optimal way, be more aggressive, and not have to worry about losing the game because you overextended. So it's just it's the right choice for this deck, and I think there's a lot of more people who are back to playing Hatch over Beast Han. So um, yeah, I would definitely play Hatch in this deck. I would play Hatch in pretty much every blue deck nowadays. It's just such a good card. So yeah, that's the main deck. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, only a few differences from what the other guys had in their list, and um, it helps when they kind of coach you through it. So it feels good being successful and knowing that they kind of walked me through it. But yeah, that's the main deck.
Into Z deck or side deck, your choice.
Let's do Z deck. Let's go with Justice Impact. Pretty straightforward as far as this goes. You need to open this turn 1 or 2, depending on if you're going first or second. I will crack my marker turn 1 pretty much every time if I need to. It allows you to awaken and stop the energy exhaust, but it also has that ability to place 2 of your energy in the drop and then KO your opponent's board. So um, you'll see that a lot of the deck revolves around board removal with the Cell 9 drop, the Z extra card, and then one of the other Z deck cards that I chose to play. I went 3 Android 18 and 1 Deborah Unison. I could see a 2-2 split. I never played more than 2 Android 18 in a game. And Deborah, I don't know that I played it once all day, but if I did, it was probably just for spot barrier removal, which again, I didn't really run into a ton. Um, the one overperforming card in this deck was Cell Awakening. Um, this Z deck card is absolutely nuts. Just clear the board of anything 5 or less. You turn it into a crit triple strike if there's 4 more cards under it. Multiple times against Vegeta, and then one of my other matchups, this came up, and it was just such a powerful play for 3 energy. And then knowing I could just go ahead and ramp up and start playing any of my other engine as well. So this is an overperformer, and I would highly consider playing this in a meta where there's a lot of decks that can go wide with the board. So definitely the choice to play him was what I feel was the correct one.
Still good.
And then the last 3. Yeah, I mean, the Son Goku, the Beerus, the Black Kamehameha, I didn't play these once. They're there if I need them, but overall, I mean, I'm playing probably these 3 each and every game or nearby or pretty close to, maybe the Deborah, but the rest of it was pretty uneventful. I didn't play a second Z extra card, even though I did use it to clear board more than once. Just never needed to. And the energy exhaust that it negates was valuable, but if at that point I'm probably just going for the kill. Worst case scenario is if I did need another one, obviously I keep it just to play. But yeah, a lot of the Z deck, aside from these 4 cards, just didn't get used, which felt fine. I don't think I really needed to use more than that.
Yeah, damage generates a lot of its combo power via effects and not via comboing. So generating that Z energy can be a weakness of the deck for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. All right. We'll get into the side deck. It doesn't deviate much from what Danny had, but Begrudging Allies is something I put in there. I don't want to run into an Oceanus, or one of them was Tobo. Ironically, I ran into a Tobo in my one loss, which felt terrible, but I didn't side those in because I figured the guy was a respectable opponent enough not to play a Tobo, but it worked. It stalled a turn. Gohan 8-drop. It's just a really good value defensive play to clear a battle card that's swinging big on you. So I sided it in a couple times. It's really useful into the U7 matchup, but I didn't see it, so didn't need to play it. But I didn't use it once this tournament, but I definitely see the value in it. Jiren Survival of the Fittest. You just have to respect turning the tide. Zeno for some of the decks that rely on having a Z extra card or other cards on the board that kind of facilitate their game plan. It's just a pretty nice play. I went 3 Deborah. I had one matchup where I sided in two. I couldn't find a third slot that I really wanted to take out. It was into a green Gohan. It came up once. It was fine. It didn't really do a whole lot, but I'm glad I had it when I needed it. Emotional blow. I decided to side this in for some indestructible that I expected to see, and luckily I did end up seeing the emotional blow when they needed it against a Goku Black, which frankly wasn't all that close of a match, but it just really locked it down and made sure that I was able to win that. But I probably would have regardless. Um, Sun Nine Drop again for the board clear, and then the last one was the baby 4 drop Bitter Revenge on Saiyans. Uh, I played a topo in my last round, and seeing this on turn two won me that game on turn two. It stalled everything that he thought he was going to be able to do. As soon as I was able to swing lead, combo this, put it in the drop, I had 16. I was able to bounce something, tap one, use this, clear his unison. His game just, it was over at that point. And he knew it and I knew it. And it was probably, it felt unfair, but it was probably the easiest game. And it happened to be the last round of the day. So, if you're playing a blue deck, it just clears 2 cost unisons and it makes it easy. You just got to find a way to make sure that you're removing something to the bottom of the deck, which there's no shortage of cards in the metal that'll do that for you.
All right, well, that was a great run you had all the way. I think you played
Yeah,
6 rounds, right? You went 5-1. You want to quickly go through, if you remember them, the matchups you played against. I know we talked about Topo, but
I
what
took
would have you?
notes. Yeah, I've find my notes here. So round one was Goku Black. That was again a pretty easy coast win. Round two was Green Gohan. I ended up having everything that I needed. The D Magic, he was gonna try and swing with his leader, turn it bursting rage and make it double strike. I saw that coming from a mile away. It was very telegraphed, as Green tends to do, and was able to just hatch him, which I drew off life. It was my third to last life. But I also had the D Magic, so I was winning that matchup. Then it was Yellow Bardock. And Yellow Bardock is where the board clear really came in. And I was starting to understand a lot of the Z deck and how I can utilize that better. So the cell, especially, he was at 4 life. I swing crit, he takes it. And now I'm swinging triple crit. And he has to answer that with a hard negate, because if he doesn't, I'm just going to be able to combo off my board. And I ended up winning that matchup pretty handily as well. Once I was able to just nuke the board, he wasn't able to rebuild it. Um, Round four was Red Vegeta. However, it was Eric Moyano, and he was playing it in a red green variant with Raditz and some arrival pieces. It was, I mean, it was cool the way he played it, but yeah, I kind of ran through that one as well. He didn't see his Awaken on curve either. Um,
Ooh.
Round five was Vegeta, Eric Hill, and that was the matchup that I lost. It just, I saw 117 and I didn't see a second one at all. So it kind of just siphon the hand power or the draw power that I needed to really be able to push through. But it was a closer matchup than I probably remember it being. But it felt pretty brutal not seeing a second 17. And then the last matchup was just Topo, which again was, I mean, the baby was absolutely the MVP of that matchup. And yeah, that's a card that I'll be citing for a hot minute.
Well, that's crazy. Congrats to that Topo guy playing for top 8 in the last round. That's a pretty cool pick to off
Yeah,
meta.
and he was a nice guy. We talked about it afterwards, and he was. I mean, he had a really good day. I think he beat Beer round one or two. People just aren't. They're not ready to play against a deck like that. You kind of have to you have to sideboard for a matchup like that, or be able to really focus on clearing the unison. Which luckily you play a lot of dual attackers. Their hand size is small, so the gammas really come in and clear not only their hand, you rip a card, but you can also swing into their unison twice and clear markers pretty easily. Even if I didn't see the baby, I still feel confident that I probably win that matchup pretty handily.
Yeah, Gamma's strong into has a lot of avenues it can attack even without the side deck. So definitely a strong pick.
Yeah.
Well, any final words, shout outs you want to throw out there before we wrap up?
I'd love to. Yeah. First off, shout out to all the guys who were able to help me through this process yourself. Danny coached me through it, Jerry, Klinger, Beer, a lot you guys were able to really give me the keys to run with this deck specifically. So I guess the lesson here is find a deck that you think has potential, play it, and then I'm going to net deck it and do as much as I can to pick your brain so that I can play it and do well with it. Shout out to Danny for that. So I appreciate you guys for all the help, all the games, and making sure that I was as ready as I could be. It was a little bit of a struggle, but the results speak for themselves. It was a good day.
Yeah, you got there. So congrats on the finish. That's awesome. You did so well, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Keep it up.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, bye.